Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Celebrated Valentine's with Hinata. This story is made by PanteraIchigo, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist. To see more, comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Valentine Day had finally come to the village of Konoha. There stood Hinata Hyuga, right outside the door of Naruto's room, a box of homemade chocolates in her hands. Ready to face Naruto with her true feelings, she reached for the doorbell. Naruto and Sasuke walked out of the Hokage's office, both looking rather exhausted. Naruto, I can't believe you screwed up such a simple mission. Sasuke said, facing the blonde-haired orange jumpsuited boy. We had it in the bag, at least until you threw the kunai with the paper bomb on it. Because of you, we lost the target. Oh, shut up already. Don't you think I feel bad enough as it is? Naruto crossed his arms and stared at the ground as they walked. Oh well, at least Tsunade wasn't too bent out of shape over it. But still, I can't believe that happened. I didn't spend 3 years at Orochimaru's to make stupid mistakes like that. Sasuke had returned to Konoha a year and a half earlier, but almost didn't since the people saw him as a traitor for leaving the village for Orochimaru. Tsunade had forgiven him though, and he was allowed to come back, but people still stared at him everywhere he went. Since then, he had advanced to the Jonin level along with Naruto, who was now one of his closest friends. Oh well, nothing can be done about it now, so let's just head home. Naruto said as his stomach growled. Sounds like it's ramen time. Naruto, how do you survive on noodles alone? Sasuke said with a laugh. He started talking after that, and their conversation carried into town, where they saw something odd. Hey, aren't there an awful lot of couples walking around today? Naruto said as he looked around. There were couples walking up and down the Konoha streets, some with bouquets, and others walking arm in arm with their heads on their partner's shoulders. Yeah, you're right, there are a lot of them, Sasuke said. Suddenly, a thought struck him like a kunai to the forehead. Naruto, what's the date today? We've been out of the village for a few days, so I haven't been keeping track. Well then, how the hell should I know? Naruto said a little angrily. They may have been best friends, but they still got on each other's nerves sometimes. Hey, there's a calendar. The two of them walked over to it and took a look. Oh great, that's just what I need on my first day off in a while, Sasuke said, with that familiar somber attitude of his. What's wrong? Naruto said, not getting what was being said. It's Valentine's Day, you dope. I'm going to get back to my house, and I'll be swarmed by admirers. They just don't seem to get that I like Sakura. Since his return, Sasuke had also developed feelings for his rose-haired teammate. He had also told her how he felt, and things had been going steady with him ever since. Many girls still couldn't believe that he had chosen Sakura. He looked over at Naruto, who looked a little down. Hey, what's up? Oh, it's nothing, Naruto said. This was a lie, of course. Naruto had liked Sakura for a long time, but he knew once she got together with Sasuke that his chances with her had gone down the drain. Hey, I'm gonna get going. He started to walk off. Alright then, I'll see you later, Sasuke said, after which he jumped onto the nearest roof and jumped off toward the main Uchiha house. Naruto, though, stayed on the ground, silently walking toward home with many thoughts flowing through his head. Man, Valentine's Day, and I'm by myself. That's just bad. Even Sasuke has a girlfriend, and he used to be the most emotionless person in the village. This one thought came back to the front of his mind many times as he walked toward his place, staring at the ground as he went. He was a little jealous of the fact, but he accepted it. He was so caught up in his thoughts that he almost walked past the building where he lived. When he got to his room, something caught his eye. His mailbox was open, and something was sitting inside. What the heck? That's weird. Nobody I know sends me mail. He reached inside and pulled out the little package. A note was attached to the package. Naruto pulled it off, and opened it to see what it said. The note read, Happy Valentine's Day, Naruto. Just that. No name, no address, just the short message. Wonder who it's from. Naruto thought as he unwrapped the little package. A small box was in it. Naruto took off the lid, and was greeted by the sweet smell of chocolate. Small, flower-shaped chocolates sat arranged around a small chocolate heart that sat in the middle of the box. Someone sent me Valentine's chocolates, Naruto thought in disbelief. He stood there in the hall for a while, absorbing this fact. At a small Konoha cafe, Sakura and Sasuke sat at a table outside. Both of them had a cup of coffee at their place. However, both cups were still full, even though they had been there for a while. The two of them were caught up in the conversation that they had started when they got there. So he screwed it up that badly? Sakura said, trying to sound surprised, even though she wasn't. Yeah, he screwed up that badly, Sasuke said in an exasperated voice. You know, sometimes I wonder why I'm friends with Naruto. He's still a bit of a screw-up, even though he's a jonin. He's just like Kakashi, at least the perverted clumsy side of him, Sakura said with a giggle. Where is Kakashi anyway? Sasuke asked. He said he wanted to talk when we got back. Last time I saw him was earlier, before you came to get me. He was walking down the street, with Anko holding onto his left arm and leaning on him. Sasuke had just decided to take a drink at this time, but because of what she said, he nearly choked on his coffee. Coughing, he said, well, that's unexpected. Suddenly, he got a chill up the back of his N. Sakura, I suggest you pick up your coffee, now. She looked at him for a second, then picked up her cup. As she got the cup over her lap, Naruto landed on the table, out of breath and looking exhausted. The table couldn't take the force that he landed with, and without warning it collapsed under him. What are you doing, you idiot? Sasuke asked, taking a sip of his coffee. Naruto was still getting up, and was about to say something, at least before Sakura punched him over the head, and, in a rather angry tone, said, Naruto. Ow. What was that for? Naruto asked as he rubbed the spot where she hit him. It's for dropping in like an idiot. Sakura yelled. They were starting to cause a scene, because many people were staring at them. Sasuke quickly noticed the problem and said, maybe we should take this somewhere else. He set his coffee cup on the shattered remains of the table on the ground and left. Sakura and Naruto followed closely behind him. Once they were around the nearest corner, and out of sight, Sasuke asked, all right, what's going on? He sounded annoyed. It's about this, Naruto said, holding up the note he had gotten earlier. Both Sasuke and Sakura looked over the note, and Sakura said, what about it? I was hoping one of you would know who wrote it. Naruto said. Why? Did you get Valentine's chocolates? Sasuke said jokingly. He knew Naruto never got any, but Naruto turned red at the remark and looked at the ground. Sasuke felt like he'd been You got Valentine's chocolate. Sakura looked like she was in shock at the remark. Yeah, and good ones too. Here, try one, Naruto said, holding up the box of chocolate flowers. Sasuke took one and so did Sakura. Both took a small bite, and they were met by a smooth, creamy taste that made their taste buds dance. That's delicious, Sakura said as she finished her piece. It tastes like it's homemade too. Really? Naruto said, not the least bit surprised. Really? Sasuke said. I've never had store-bought chocolate that tasted that good. I kind of figured, Naruto said angrily. So do you know who wrote the note or not? He sounded a little impatient. No, sorry, Sasuke said. Naruto slumped a little and said, thanks anyway. I'll see you guys later. With that, he jumped onto the nearest roof and took off. How likely do you think it is that he will search the entire village for the person who wrote that note? Sakura said as she watched him go. I would have to say that it is very likely, Sasuke said. Sure enough, from the time he met with Sasuke and Sakura to sunset, Naruto ran around the entire village trying to find somebody who could identify the author of the note. By the time he finished, he was so tired that he wanted to drop, and was so hungry that he thought he was going to He walked into the ramen shop and sat down, thankful to be off his feet. What can I get you? The cook behind the counter said. One order of ramen with barbecued pork, Naruto said, putting his head down. Naruto, is that you? A voice said on his right. It was Lee. Naruto had sat down next to Lee, Tenten, and Neji, but had been so tired that he hadn't noticed them. Oh. Hey you guys, Naruto said, sitting up. Man, what happened to you? Tenten asked through a mouthful of noodles. You look like you've been sent through a tornado. I've been running around all day, searching for something, he said, setting his head down in his arms. What the heck is so important that you would search for it all day? Lee said, going back to his bowl of noodles. Naruto held up the note to show it to them, but he kept his head on the counter. Lee took the note and looked it over. Oh, I see. You want to find the person who wrote this note. Well, no duh, Naruto said in an annoyed tone. Wouldn't you want to find out who gave you a box of Valentine's chocolates? Let me see that, Tenten said, ripping the note out of Lee's hands. When she finished inspecting the note, she said, you think they would at least leave their name for you, unless of course it's a prank. Neji decided to speak up for the first time since Naruto arrived. I don't think it's a prank. May I take a look at that note? Tenten gave him the note. Taking only a short glance, he said, I thought so. This note was written by Lady Hinata. Hinata, Naruto said, jerking up and looking at Neji. Are you sure about that? She doesn't seem like the type to. I assure you, Naruto, it was definitely her. I could never mistake her handwriting. Well, there you go, Naruto. Problem solved and answered. Now for some water, Lee said, reaching for a glass of clear liquid. Wait, Lee, don't. That's not water. It's too late. The sake was down his throat before Tenten could say another word. He slumped in his seat, then jumped up and started trashing the place, completely drunk. Neji and Tenten went to stop him, but Naruto stayed in his seat. Hinata gave me those chocolates. The thought echoed in his mind, over and over again. He wasn't sure what he should do. He liked Hinata as a friend, but thoughts of love had never occurred to him. Did he like Hinata like that? Does she really like him? Questions pounded into his mind like raindrops from a thunderstorm. Completely forgetting about his ramen, he left the shop in a daze, arriving at home before he even realized it. As he got ready for bed, the same question popped into his head over and over again. Did he like Hinata as more than a friend? Before he drifted off to sleep, he thought to himself, I've got to figure this out. As he drifted into sleep, Kyuubi stirred in him, also wondering about the answer to that question. It was the day after Valentine's Day. Hinata Hyuga woke up early, thoroughly disappointed with herself. She sat up in her bed and stared at the end of it. Why couldn't I do it? She thought to herself as she stared off into space. I was right there and I couldn't do it. I wanted him to know how I felt, but I got scared and ran away. She brought her knees to her sea and buried her face in them. A small knock came from her door. Lifting her head from her knees, she said, come in. Her father Hiashi Hyuga walked through the door and into the room. Oh, hello father. She didn't get up, but she took a normal sitting position. Hiashi walked to her bed and sat down beside her. Hinata, my dear, is something the matter? Concern filled his voice. Last night, it seemed like something was weighing heavy on your mind. Nothing is wrong, father, she said, looking him in the face. Her hand moved to her mouth as it always did when she was nervous. Hinata, my Byakugan eyes may be able to see everything, but I don't need to use them to see that there is something wrong. With that statement, Hinata decided that she wouldn't be able to hide the truth to her father. So, she started explaining what had happened. She told him how she had gone to the home of the boy she liked, planning to give him chocolates and tell him how she felt. She didn't dare say who the boy was, for she knew that her father did not approve of Naruto. She told about how she had gone to ring his doorbell, but had gotten scared of how the boy would react, so she left the chocolates in the mailbox and left. I see, Hiashi said when she had finished. Well, I'm not sure what to say, but I know what you should do. You must confront this boy. See how he really feels before you do anything else. Hinata looked up at him, and he gave her a small, fatherly smile. You're right, father, I'll go find him now. She jumped out of bed, heading towards the bathroom with a fresh set of clothes and a smile on her face. She must really like this boy. Hiashi thought, rubbing his chin. I'll have to find out who it is. Naruto sat on one of the lowest branches in a large tree. A blank expression covered his face, making it look like he was sleeping with his eyes open. He had been there for most of the morning, staring up at the sky with the same blank expression. Thoughts of Hinata had been dancing through his head the entire time. He was so caught up in his thoughts that he didn't even notice Sasuke appear right in front of him, sticking to the side of the tree by the chakra in his feet. Sasuke took a deep breath and yelled into Naruto's ear, "Hey Naruto, wake up." He surprised Naruto so much that he fell out of the tree and hit the ground with a dull thud. Sakura was standing at the foot of the tree where Naruto landed. "That should have done the trick," she said as Naruto picked himself up. Sasuke appeared at his side almost instantly. Naruto looked like he was ready to kill them both. "Why the hell did you do that?" he yelled. "It's called worry for a reason," Sakura said while Naruto brushed off loose bits of grass and dirt. "Yeah, you didn't even show up for training with Kakashi this morning." It was a fact that Naruto never missed a training session for any reason. "It's not like you. I just had a lot of stuff on my mind." He tried to sound convincing, but apparently it didn't work. "You missed training because you were thinking," Sakura said, sounding thoroughly unconvinced. "I don't buy it. What's really going on?" She looked him right in the eye when she said it, and right then Naruto was glad that she couldn't read minds because thoughts of Hinata had just jumped back into the front of his. "What's going on is that he's found out who gave him those Valentine's chocolates," Sasuke said. "What? Really? Who was it?" Sakura said, getting awfully close to his face. Naruto's mouth just twitched for a second, then he spotted something behind Sakura, and jumped back into the tree, hiding in the branches just as a new voice spoke up. "Hello Sakura, Sasuke. How have you two been?" Hinata asked from behind her. Sakura nearly jumped out of her skin. "Oh, hello Hinata. We've been fine. How about you?" Sasuke said in his usual calm and casual voice. "I'm fine. Hey, have either of you seen Naruto today?" Hinata looked hopeful as she asked. "Actually, Sakura said, before Sasuke put a hand over her mouth. "No, we haven't seen him yet today. If we see him, we'll be sure to tell him that you are looking for him," Sasuke said in the coolest, calmest voice you had ever heard. "Oh, okay. Thanks you guys," Hinata said, slightly disappointed. "I'll see you later." Hinata ran off, and once she was out of earshot, Sakura decided it was time to yell at Sasuke. "Why did you do that? You know full well that Naruto is in this tree." She was a little angry. "I did it because Naruto doesn't want her to find him," Sasuke said. "What do you mean Oh, I see." She rounded on Naruto as his feet hit the ground. "She's the one who sent the chocolates, isn't she?" Naruto could get out of answering now, so he just nodded. Sakura squealed at the nod and said, "That's great. She'd be perfect for you Naruto. But wait, why did you hide from her then?" Naruto blushed at the question, mainly because of embarrassment. Finally he said, "Because I'm not sure of how I feel about her yet. Now I have to go. See you guys later." Without another word he headed off. "He doesn't know how he feels about her yet. I figured that he would fall for any girl who gave him a present," Sakura said. "You forget," Sasuke said, watching Naruto jump from building to building. "Naruto grew up alone. He never even had a mother's love, let alone the love of another girl. He has no idea what to do in this type of situation. He's probably confused out of his head right now." "Okay, when you put it that way, I can see why he said that. Still, he needs to face her eventually. He can't run forever." Naruto was back in a tree, but this time he was outside the walls of Konoha where he wouldn't be disturbed. "Kyubi, are you there?" he asked in his mind. The spirit of the nine-tailed fox stirred in his stomach. "You know very well that I'm here. And I already know what you are going to ask. You want to know what you should do about Hinata. How did you know?" He hadn't said anything to Kyubi all day. "I'm stuck in your body, so I can hear your thoughts. Now listen Kit, I'm the type that you come to when the situation is a fight, but when it comes to matters of love, you are on your own." The fox drifted back to sleep after that. "Fat load of help you were," Naruto said to himself. "Why did I hide from Hinata earlier? It was like I was afraid of her." His stomach tightened at thoughts of Hinata, and it felt hard for him to breathe. His face turned red at the thought of being around her. Am I in love with her? The thought popped into his head, and he knew that he couldn't deny the fact anymore. He was in love with Hinata. He got back up and headed back to the village. He was really nervous now. As he headed back to the village he calmed down a little, but not much. Somehow, he regretted what he was about to do, but at his point he didn't seem to care. Hinata walked into the ramen shop. She spotted Kiba sitting with Shikamaru and Ino, and took up the seat next to him. Upon sitting down, she laid her head down in her arms, completely exhausted. Hinata, what's up with you? Kiba asked. Yeah, you don't look so good, said Ino through a mouthful of noodles. Shikamaru just kept eating, not caring even a little bit. Oh, I'm okay. I'm just tired. I've been looking for Naruto all day is all. I can't find him anywhere. Isn't he out on a mission with Sasuke? Ino said, looking at Shikamaru with a raised eyebrow. How the heck should I know? He said, pausing in the middle of a bite. No, they're back. I saw Sasuke with Sakura earlier and asked them if they had seen Naruto, but they said that they hadn't. Hinata said. Of course they didn't, said Kiba. That's right, Ino said, looking at Hinata. Sasuke is Naruto's best friend, and Sakura is Sasuke's boyfriend. Her eye twitched a little at the last part. Those two would cover for him for anything, even if it meant their lives. So what did he do to you then? Oh, he didn't do anything to me, Hinata said, waving her hands a little as she said it. There's just something that I wanted to ask him. What the heck would you want to ask Naruto? Kiba asked, looking at Hinata. The bell on the door dinged, catching Kiba's attention. Well, speak of the devil, there he is now. Hinata turned around to see Naruto walking in the door of the shop. He was halfway to the counter when Hinata met him. Oh hey Hinata, said Naruto, trying to sound as calm as possible. Naruto, she said, turning a little red. There's something that I need to ask you. She looked at the floor as she said it. At the counter, Kiba, Ino, and even Shikamaru watched the two with interest. Before you do that, there is something that I need to tell you. Naruto said, his cheeks turning a rosy pink color. An embarrassed look appeared on his face. What is it, Naruto? Hinata asked, looking him straight in the eyes. This eye contact did not last long though. Before Hinata could say another word, Naruto bent down and kissed her on the lips. Behind her, Kiba spat some water that he had been drinking, Ino choked on her noodles, and Shikamaru froze in mid-chew, dropping his chopsticks. They parted after several seconds, and Naruto ran out of the door. Hinata stood there frozen, cheeks red as a cherry, and her right hand touching her bottom lip. Naruto was lying on the roof of the building that he lived in. A full moon was in the sky, shining brightly down on the landscape. His hands were behind his head, supporting it while he stared up at the moonlit sky. Oh damn it, why the hell did I go and do that? He screamed inside his head. Okay, just calm down. There are at least two possibilities. One is that she likes me, and that would make it okay, but then if she doesn't like me, then I'll never be able to face her again. He got up and whacked himself on the head a few times. Suddenly, Sasuke appeared out of nowhere. Hey, I heard what happened. All that I have to say is damn. I didn't think that you would do something like that. He sounded impressed. Naruto was so surprised by Sasuke's arrival and what he said that he himself nearly fell off the roof. How the hell did you find out? Naruto asked, regaining the balance that he had lost when he had gotten up. That would be Sakura. She's the one who told me, Sasuke said, giving a small smile. How did she find out? Naruto asked, still a little shocked. Ino told her, Sasuke said calmly. And Kiba told Shino, and Shikamaru told Choji and Asuma. Then Shino told Neji and his team, while Asuma told Kakashi, Anko, Kurenai, and Guy about it. Naruto, the news that UK Hinata is spreading like wildfire. I bet that Tsunade will know about it before morning. Neji heard about it. Great, I bet he's having a fit about that. Naruto said, crossing his arms. Actually, he took it pretty well. Somehow, I think that he was expecting something like this was going to happen. He even told me one time that Hinata liked you. Naruto's ears twitched at the last sentence. Suddenly he went from sitting down to being in Sasuke's face within about 2 seconds. What did you say? I said that Neji once told me that Hinata liked you. What? You didn't know? Sasuke asked. Naruto hadn't noticed the question though. Hinata likes me. She really likes me. The same thoughts echoed over and over again, making Naruto's heart beat harder than any drum. His eyes glazed over, as he thought of her, so timid and beautiful, like a small flower in a grassy field. The world around him almost ceased to exist as he went into this trance-like state. Hey, Earth to Naruto, are you there? Sasuke said, waving a hand in front of Naruto's face. Naruto snapped out of his state immediately, leaving behind his thoughts of Hinata. You need to stop doing that. One of these days you are going to zone out, and it might just cost you dearly. Aha, Naruto said, barely letting the words register in his mind. Hey Sasuke, I'll see you later, okay? Where are you going? Sasuke asked with a little grin on his face. That's none of your business, Naruto said in a childish tone. After that, Naruto took off across the rooftops, moving so fast that Sasuke had trouble keeping up with him. He's probably going to find Hinata, Sasuke thought with a smile. That's the only natural thing that he would do, but still, why am I getting such a bad feeling about this? The wind blew, whipping Sasuke's hair around as leaves flew by his face, giving him an even more ominous feeling. Kakashi, Anko, Kurenai, Asuma and Guy were sitting at a corner table in the local bar. Several bottles of sake were sitting in the center of the table, and several shot glasses were sitting in front of each jonin. Guy's cheeks were already turning a little red, and they had just gotten there not long before. They were laughing and discussing the news that Asuma had just heard from Shikamaru. I still can't believe that he did it, Kakashi said, taking another shot of sake. His mask was off, revealing his smooth face. I never knew that Naruto had it in him. It must be all that time he spent with me. Oh sure, Anko said, leaning on him. The most that you ever did when he was with you was read those perverted books. She decided to be bold too, because she leaned up and kissed him. After they disconnected she said, they aren't that bad though. Everyone at the table laughed at that point. I never even thought he would do something like that, Kurenai said. I know that he's quick to attack on the battlefield, but I figured that he would at least be a little cautious when it came to the game of love. Hey, he still did it, Asuma said, lighting up a cigarette. And that's all that counts. It makes me happy to know that our students are growing up so fast, Guy said with a little tear in his eye. His face was now so red that they were surprised he hadn't fallen over yet. If Naruto was capable of that, then maybe there is hope for Lee too. What? Lee hasn't found a girl yet, Kakashi said, laughing a little. He's more like you than I thought. Everyone burst out laughing at this point, even Guy. All of a sudden, a new voice sounded, making the laughter down a little. Hello Kakashi, Anko, Kurenai, Asuma, Guy. What's all the commotion about? Hiashi Hyuga asked as he walked over to the table. Well hello Hiashi, Kakashi said, raising his uncovered eyebrow in surprise. This is a surprise. We almost never see you away from the Hyuga estate. Yes, well, I figured that it was a good night to get out of the house. Hiashi said with a small smile. And what a beautiful night it is, Anko said, putting an arm around Kakashi's neck. Come on Hiashi, join us for a drink, won't you? Hiashi decided not to argue, because even though he was stronger than Anko, once she got like this it was best not to mess with her. Also, it had been a while since he had gone out, so he figured why not make the most of it. He sat down with them and had a few shots. Before long, he was laughing and joking along with the rest of them. The six of them were having a grand time. All of a sudden, Kakashi said, Hey Hiashi, have you heard the news? What news? Hiashi asked, sounding a little confused. Well, isn't that surprising? We figured that it would have made its way straight to you since it involved your daughter. Kurenai said it with a smile on her rosy face. What about my daughter? Hiashi asked, sounding even more confused, and a little worried at this point. But then he thought, wait, if it was bad news, then they wouldn't be acting like this. Well, from what Shikamaru told me, Asuma said. He and Ino had been having ramen with Kiba, when Hinata came into the shop looking exhausted. Apparently, she had been out looking for Naruto most of the day, Kakashi said, taking over the story. She'd been looking for Naruto? Hiashi asked, making sure that he had heard right. Yeah, Naruto. Kakashi repeated. Anyway, she was about to go looking for him again when he walked in the door of the shop. She met him halfway across the floor, saying that she needed to ask him something. Okay, how is that big news? Hiashi asked. Not that. What happened next is the big news, Kakashi said as Hiashi poured himself another shot. Apparently, Naruto said that there was something that he needed to tell her. And then he kissed her. Hiashi did a spit take, covering Guy with sake. Guy didn't really notice though, mainly because he was passed out cold. Coughing, Hiashi asked, What did you say? I said Naruto her, Kakashi said as calmly as he had said it before. Then he ran off, leaving Hinata in the middle of the room, blushing like a cherry. I have to go, Hiashi said, getting up very fast. I've got to find my daughter. Or, why? Anko asked as he started to leave. This is perfect. They would make such a cute couple. That may be what you think, but I don't share that opinion. Hiashi turned to face them. I don't want my daughter having anything to do with that fox child. With that outburst he ran from the bar, all eyes on him as he left. Or hell, Kakashi said getting up. We have to stop him before he does something drastic. Kurenai, Asuma, take care of Guy. Try to sober him up. Anko and I'll go after Hiashi. Come on Anko, we've got to go. Anko nodded, and they ran out of the bar after Hiashi, hoping to catch him before he found either Naruto or Hinata. Hinata sat under a tree on the edge of Konoha. Staring up the moon she remembered the moment that had taken place earlier, when Naruto had her. She blushed at the memory of it. At the same time, though, she wished that she could go back and repeat that moment over again. That was the happiest moment of my life, she thought to herself, letting it replay several times in her head. Why did he do it though? Does he really like me? She blushed again, thinking of the sweet taste of Naruto's lips. Suddenly, she heard a noise from one of the trees. Who's there? She asked to the darkness as she stood up. A figure jumped down from the trees, and landed in front of her. It was Naruto. He was a little sweaty, and a little short of breath, but it was definitely him. Oh, it's you Naruto, Hinata said, blushing slightly. What brings you here? Catching his breath, Naruto said, there's something that I need to say. Hinata's mind jumped back to earlier, when he had said something similar and ended up her. She turned cherry red again. What is it? Hinata said, trembling a little at the thought of Naruto her a second time. However, this time he embraced her. Hinata's eyes opened wide with surprise. Naruto swallowed. His mouth was dry, but he still found the word he wanted to say. Taking a breath, Naruto whispered into Hinata's right ear, saying, I love you Hinata. Hinata's eyes, which were already opened very wide, opened even wider. Tears started to well up in her eyes, and she embraced Naruto as well. She buried her head into the shoulder of his jacket. As Hinata cried tears of happiness into his jacket, she choked out the words, I love you too, Naruto. She hugged him even tighter, never wanting to let him go. Suddenly, a new voice sounded, making each of them let go of the other. Get your hands off of my daughter. Hiashi Hyuga jumped from the nearest tree, Byakugan eyes activated, throwing a punch that landed right in Naruto's sea. Naruto flew back about 10 feet and hit the trunk of the nearest tree, pain shooting up his back. Blood dripped from his mouth as he fell to the ground, unconscious. Naruto. Hinata screamed, staring at the unconscious form of Naruto. She rounded on her father, screaming, Why did you do that, father? Why? I love him. I love him. Hiashi had heard enough. With his right hand, he jabbed Hinata on the side of the N, making her fall over unconscious. Hinata, you will thank me for this someday, he said as his Byakugan deactivated. He picked up his daughter in his arms and jumped away, leaving Naruto to be from the mouth. Less than 5 minutes later, Kakashi and Anko showed up. They checked him all over, and then took him to the hospital in Konoha. They stayed with him most of the night. The next morning, Guy and the others showed up. How's he doing? Kurenai asked when they entered the room. He's fine, Kakashi said looking at Naruto lying in the bed. He had some broken ribs when he got here, but they are almost healed. Man, the power of the nine-tailed fox still amazes me, Asuma said. What happened to him though? As far as we can tell, he was attacked by Hiashi, Anko said from the chair that she was sitting in. That's all that we could tell. Hinata, Naruto whispered from his bed. Hinata, I love you. He's been like that since we found him, always whispering the same thing, Kakashi said, giving Naruto a look of sadness. Hiashi overreacted to the whole thing, Guy said looking at Naruto as well. He went too far. Yeah, he did, Kakashi said. Now what are we going to do about it? The 5 Jonin stood there for a long time, trying to contemplate their next move, all the while Naruto whispered, Hinata I love you, to the air. The next day, Hinata regained consciousness. She was in the bed in her room. A splitting headache pounded throughout her head, making her wince in pain. What happened to me? She asked herself, groaning in pain. Then an image of the night before flashed into her mind. It was of her and Naruto embracing, and Naruto was whispering, "I love you, Hinata," into her ear. That's right. Naruto told me that he loved me. And I told him that I loved him too. She blushed a little as she said it. Then, the angry face of her father burst into her mind with another image of Naruto in pain. Oh number. Naruto. Father attacked him. I have to find him. I have to know if he is okay. She got up and ran for her door. She twisted to handle, only to discover that the door was bolted shut. What's going on? She thought. Why am I locked in? She ran to the window to find that I had been fitted with metal bars, thick enough to hold even the strongest jonin in. Somebody let me out. I have to find Naruto. Please, let me out. Please. Going back to the door, she pounded on it, hoping that somebody would hear her. Little did she know there were 2 guards from the Hyuga clan on the other side of the door listening to her. Hiashi Hyuga was with them. Listen to me. You are to let no one into this room, and she is not to leave. Understood. Hiashi was forceful with these orders, making sure that they would be understood. Yes sir, the 2 of them said in unison, bowing quickly and retaking their still positions. Hiashi left them at the door, going down the hall only to find Neji standing around the one corner. What is it, Neji? Hiashi asked, facing his nephew. Lord Hiashi, is all this really necessary? I mean, it is just Naruto, sir. Neji faced the ground as he said this, but Hiashi heard him loud and clear. Yes, it is Neji, Hiashi said with command in his voice. I know very well that I didn't kill that boy, and I know very well that he will come after Hinata. All this is to stop him, and it shall if he comes here. Now get back to your place. Hiashi walked off, leaving Neji torn between 2 things, his duty to the Hiashi and the Hyuga clan, and his duty to Hinata and his friends. In the hospital was starting to come to. Suddenly his eyes burst open, and quickly sat up in the bed. Hinata, he shouted as sat up. He looked around to see that he was in an empty hospital room. The windows were open, and a cool morning breeze rolled in, the fresh air caressing his face. Hey guys, he's awake, a voice from the door said. Kakashi walked in, followed closely by Sakura and Sasuke. Geez Naruto, how the hell did you end up in here? Sakura asked as she took a seat by the bed. Yeah, you had us worried when we heard that you were in the hospital, Sasuke said. What? Didn't Kakashi give you guys the details? Naruto asked, looking from his teacher to his friends. They both shook their heads, showing that they knew absolutely nothing of what had happened. Naruto told them about what happened the night before, after he had left Sasuke standing on the roof. He told them how he had confessed his feelings to Hinata. Sakura squealed at this point, and Sasuke gave him a smile and thumbs up. Then he told them about how it was Hiashi Hyuga, Hinata's dad, had attacked him. Why would he do that? They both asked him, then Sakura asked, doesn't he want his daughter's happiness? Yes he does, Kakashi said. However, he doesn't want that happiness to be because of Naruto. Why not? Sakura asked. What's wrong with Naruto? I think I know what it is, Sasuke said looking to Kakashi. It's because of the 9-tailed fox, isn't it? Yes, Kakashi said, confirming Sasuke's guess. Hiashi doesn't want Hinata to be with Naruto because of the 9-tailed fox that resides within Naruto. Because of it, he sees Naruto as a monster, making him a danger and unworthy of his daughter. Where is Hinata now? Naruto asked suddenly, jumping from the bed. Kakashi stared at him in silence. Naruto approached him, coming eye to eye with his teacher. Where is she? For a moment it seemed like Kakashi wasn't going to answer him, but then he said, she's at the Hyuga estate. From what I could see, they're holding he in her room, with guards posted all around the estate. Hiashi is taking no chances. He doesn't want anyone to get in, and he definitely doesn't want Hinata to get out. Well then, let's go get her. Naruto was angry now. He wanted to be with Hinata, no matter what. We can't, Kakashi said sternly. She's at her home, and if we attack them, then we're the ones who will be doing wrong. Then you're saying we can't do anything. Naruto grabbed Kakashi's vest and lifted him off the ground. Is that what you're telling me? That's enough, Kakashi said as he put Naruto in a strangle hold. You're letting your emotions get the better of you. And a good ninja knows that letting that happen could be disastrous for himself and others. You need to calm down. Naruto struggled for a minute, and then relaxed. Kakashi let him go. I'm sorry, Kakashi. I need a little time to think. With that statement, he jumped out of the open window, and headed for the outskirts of the village. Sasuke and Sakura followed close behind, just barely keeping pace with him. Sometime that boy is hopeless, Kakashi said as he watched the three of them go. Naruto reached the outskirts of the village in no time at all. He was by the river where he had first started his ninja training with Kakashi a few years before. Sasuke and Sakura arrived within seconds of Naruto. Oh, hey guys, didn't know you followed me. Like hell you didn't, Sakura said to him. You know very well that we did. She's right. You knew we were following, and you probably also knew that we would tell you that this is S. You can't take on a whole clan by yourself. You don't know enough jutsu. Which is why I have these, Naruto said, holding up a total of 3 scrolls. Where did you get those? Sasuke asked with a raised eyebrow. Suddenly, a thought dawned on him. You stole them from Kakashi, didn't you? Naruto nodded. Naruto, those still aren't enough. It's only 3 jutsu. Then get all of our friends together. I need to learn new jutsu, so why not start with theirs and yours? Naruto said. All that I need to do is see them once, that's all. After that it's all a matter of practice. He said this and smiled. Sasuke stood there and stared into Naruto's eyes for a minute. In that time, he realized Naruto didn't care if he lost his life. He also realized that if it had been the same case with him and Sakura, then he would have done the same thing that Naruto was about to do now. Sakura, go find Ino and the others, Sasuke said to her. She turned to him like she was going to protest, but she didn't. Instead she just nodded, and headed back towards the village. Naruto, you know this is crazy, right? Hey, what can I tell you? I'm in love, he said to his best friend with a grin. If that's the case, then I have chosen the correct side, a voice from one of the trees said. Neji stepped out from behind the nearest tree, arms folded across his chest. Neji, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at the Hyuga estate, protecting Hinata? Naruto asked a little confused. I can't be a part of that, Neji said. It's wrong to keep a girl from the one person she loves most in the world. So I'm here to help train you by fighting you. I am the best that either branch of my clan has to offer, next to Lord Hiashi. If you fight against me, then you shall know everything that you need to. Naruto stared at him for a second before he said, thank you Neji. He shook Neji's hand and said, all right then, let's get started. An entire day went by, and Hinata remained locked in her room. All the time, she thought of Naruto and whether or not he was all right. Naruto, she thought with tears in her eyes. She had been up all night sitting on her bed, thinking of her love. Are you okay? The tears welled up in her eyes even more. She curled up into a ball, burying her face in her knees. Outside of her door, the 2 guards could hear everything that was going on in the room. Apparently, it was starting to get to them. Why are we doing this? The one guard asked the other. It seems cruel to do this to her. It can't be helped, the second guard responded. These are Lord Hiashi's orders, and they will be carried out, no matter what we say. Yes, but still, why would he do this to his own daughter? The first guard asked. Well, from what I heard, it has to do with Naruto Uzumaki, the second guard. You mean the boy possessed by the 9-tailed fox? The first guard was even more curious now. That's the one. Apparently, the guard didn't get to finish his sentence. A very loud boom had just come from the front gate of the estate. Many bells sounded, alerting the entire estate of oncoming danger. He's here, a guard shouted from the grounds in front of the Hyuga's main house. Everybody, take your positions and prepare for battle. Many people headed for the grounds, where the estate's front gate now burned from the large explosion that had occurred. Naruto walked through the fire, not even getting singed by the flames. I don't know who you think you are, a Hyuga soldier said. However, I do know that you should back down now if you don't want to be K. If you are saying that, then you really must not know me very well, Naruto said to him. I don't ever back down. Using his thumb, he pointed at himself, and said, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I've come for the woman that I love. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.